Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Kim, and if you're new here, welcome. It's another Wind Down Wednesday, and if you joined me during my last Wind Down Wednesday, you realize that I talked a whole lot about my journey. But today, I'm going to offer a little guidance as if I were your wine guide, and then I'll talk about myself and my experiences with wine. So let's just say you're new to wine and you don't really know where to start. I usually suggest to my friends that they start with something lighter if they have no experience with wine. Not everybody likes the drier, darker, fuller flavors of some of the reds. So I usually start slow. Sometimes I start with the sweet wine. There's nothing wrong with Moscato. There's nothing wrong with rosé. I know people joke about rosé all day and wine moms and all of that, but hey, rosé is lovely, especially on a summer day when you're sitting on the deck with your girlfriends. Rosé, baby. But maybe you don't want to do rosé. Maybe you want something else. You might like whites. So I would suggest possibly a lovely Chardonnay or possibly a Riesling. Rieslings tend to have a little less alcohol content than Chardonnays. Chardonnays tend to be a little bit stronger. There's not a hard and fast rule. It depends on the type of either the Chardonnay or the Riesling, but I find friends who really don't do wine very often can enjoy either of these, and they tend to go with a lot of the meals we tend to eat more often. If you eat chicken dishes, if you have salads, even if you're just having appetizers, either one of these is nice. They go well with a lot of different foods. Of course, there's always Prosecco. I love Prosecco. I don't have any. Well, actually, I do. It's in the refrigerator and I'm too lazy to get up. So we will just imagine that we have some here. If you see behind me, you can see some of my wine collection. I don't want to get too close because a lot of light on the wine is not necessarily the best. So we've got some more here. It's kind of spilling out. This is full here. This is about 60 bottles behind me, and I've got 7 here, and then there's a box down here. As you can see, my collection is expanding and I don't really know where to put it. What can I say? I like wine. But back to suggestions. I would say do something lighter. Give it a try. Start with the lower price point. That way, if you don't like it, you haven't spent that much. And I would also suggest possibly joining one of those wine clubs, possibly something like Bright Cellars, which, by the way, this is not sponsored, but I do order from Bright Cellars myself. I spend my own money because it allows me to try things that I haven't tried, and they give you suggestions. You do this cute little quiz where they ask you what kind of flavors you like. That way they don't send you something you really don't like. So it's kind of safe there. Sometimes it's easier than going to either the liquor store or the grocery store and you see all of these bottles of wine and you don't know where to start. I would suggest starting something lighter, something sweeter, something lower in price point. I don't wine shame here. Some of my wines are pricier. Some of them are less pricey. I've got one in the refrigerator that costs what? Less than $5. Hey, wine. If you want to try something, try a Riesling, try a Chardonnay, try a Prosecco. It's kind of, in my unprofessional opinion, like a champagne adjacent. It's a little fizzy, it's light. Even if you're not eating a lot, it won't send you to tipsy town too quickly, although I always suggest putting something in your stomach if you're going to be consuming alcohol. We don't want to overconsume, and we most definitely don't sign off on drinking and driving. Apologize for the PSA, but not really. What can I say? In my intro, I said I was your auntie, and auntie's gonna auntie. So always drink responsibly. Back to the regularly scheduled programming, and I promise you I haven't had any wine. Sometimes my tongue just gets in the way. Let's talk about my experiences with wine. I know when I first started having wine, it was haphazard. Whatever wasn't, I could try, whatever could fit in my very small budget. I know I went on a cruise with some friends and we were gifted a bottle of champagne with every meal. If you got dressed up and went to the dining hall and you ate with your table, but you had a champagne ticket and you had to present it. Well, one of my friend's husbands was in charge of keeping up with the champagne ticket, and he lost the champagne ticket for one of those days. So he felt bad and he wanted to give us something, but he didn't feel too bad because the wine he brought, he got at Kmart in St. St. Martin for 99 cents. I can't even remember the vintage. No, wait a minute. It was called Night Train. Night Train, 99 cents from Kmart. Kmart's even open anymore? I don't know. Anyway, it was not champagne. It was, I don't even care that it cost 99 cents. All I know is it was awful. It was vile. I think it snatched most of my throat skin going down. Who knows? Maybe I sounded more like Barry White before I drank that wine. I might have had a career in ASMR instead of what I got flying out of my face right now. That wine was nasty. So there will be some wines that you just don't like. So let's just say the first time you have wine, you don't like it. That doesn't mean you are not a wine person. It just means you didn't like that particular type. And if you're interested, keep trying it. When you go to a restaurant, try something. Or talk to the sommelier if you're in a fancier restaurant. Or watch my channel and get random useless tidbits about wine. Like I said, I would suggest starting out to try something milder like a Riesling or a Chardonnay, perhaps a Prosecco. And like I said earlier, there's no shame in having a good rosé. Anyway, that'll be the end of this, whatever you want to call it. And if you like this kind of content, or you want to hear more about wines, or maybe there's something specific you want to hear about, let me know in the comments. I'm always about it. Maybe I will show you more of my collection. And I promise in our next Wine Down Wednesday, I'll actually make food and we'll try a bunch of different, well, not a bunch, a few different pairings to see what goes with what. Sometimes it's easier to see it than just talk about it. So stay tuned. I'll see you next time. Love and donuts. Like and subscribe. Bye.